1450.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Federal mediators set to meet with Boeing and the Machinists Union next week as part of the effort to end the strike launched on Friday.
The U.S. economy bracing for impact after 33,000 Boeing union members walked off the job and to the picket lines on strike and rejecting the troubled jet maker's latest offer that would have hiked pay by 25% over 4 years.
The first thing I saw right off the bat was a 25% raise over a 4-year period. That's not going to catch up with my rent and my bills.
It's the first strike in 16 years, and workers say it's been that long since they've had a raise.
ABC's Morgan Norwood. Former President Trump rallying Friday in Las Vegas, praising his own performance in the debate.
A couple of nights ago, we had an even better victory. We took her on, Comrade Kamala Harris. We took her on, and we did really well.
Kamala Harris in swing state Pennsylvania telling supporters in Wilkes-Barre that Trump will end Obamacare.
He's going to threaten health insurance for the 45 million people who rely on it based on a concept. And take us back?
51 days until Election Day. Officials in Hawaii released the latest stage of a report into last year's deadly Maui fire.
On average, victims who tried to escape made it 800 feet before they were overcome. The Fire Safety Research Report found no evidence that officials prepared for the fire risk, but Hawaii Attorney General Ann Lopez said,
"No one event, person, or action caused the result or the outcomes of this fire."
102 people were killed. Her office says criminal charges are unlikely. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Funeral services will be held today for 2 of the 4 victims who were killed in the Appalachia High School shooting in Georgia. You're listening to ABC News.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Gas prices have been heading down. Here's ABC's Alexis Christophorus with more.
AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular now $3.21. That is down 23 cents from a month ago and 64 cents cheaper than a year ago. Pump prices are expected to fall even further as the U.S. continues to produce a record amount of oil.
Gas prices haven't dropped below $3 a gallon in more than 3 years, but some experts say it could happen as soon as late October, if not sooner. Boy band singer turned solo star Justin Timberlake was sentenced Friday in a plea deal for driving while impaired on New York's Long Island. ABC's Shanti Lanz is at the courthouse in the Hamptons.
The judge sentencing the 43-year-old singer to 25 hours of community service. That's on top of a plea deal to make a public safety announcement before local and international media about the dangers of drinking and driving.
Even if you've had one drink, don't get behind the wheel of a car.
Justin Timberlake will be able to choose which community service he has to do. He has to pay a $500 fine, $260 surcharge. His license will be suspended for 90 days.
Boar's Head announcing it will shut down its Virginia plant linked to 9 deaths and 57 hospitalizations following a listeria outbreak traced to its deli meats. The company also announcing it will permanently discontinue the sale of liverwurst. Boar's Head saying they're implementing comprehensive measures to prevent this from happening again. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Need cash help but have bad or no credit? Then you need to go to FastLoansAI.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $10,000 regardless of your credit score. FastLoansAI.com is one of the largest lender networks. Their advanced technology can help anyone get up to $10,000. Best part? Money can be in your bank account as fast as the same day. When you need fast cash, go to FastLoansAI.com. That's FastLoansAI.com.
KYNT, AM 1450 and FM 1021.
You are listening to the Coach's Corner Show on KYNT, Yankton's home team. Now, let's get you caught up on Yankton High School athletics with KYNT Sports Director and the voice of the Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
All right, good morning. This is the Coach's Corner. I'm Bryce Ladwig. Thank you for joining us here this morning, and for what it's worth, I have not been home yet. So, got back from Douglas very early or late in the morning and powering through the show. I have some Yankton football coaches in here, joined by other Yankton Varsity coaches from across other sports. Looking forward to talking to them about all their athletics this week. Yankton, of course, defeated Douglas last night 74-6. They're now 2-1 on the season. And coming up, we'll talk to Coach Brady Muth and Coach Justin Olson, Coach Terry Huber, and Coach Brady Hale. That's all around the corner here on the Coach's Corner. A quick break. We'll come back with those coaches right here on KYNT and KYNTV.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here, I think, is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit FNBO.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small. Embracing the unexpected. Savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
It's day one of your new career. Parker of Yankton has immediate openings for material handlers, machine operators, and setups for both day and night shifts. Along with a full benefits package beginning your first day on the job, Parker is offering a second shift pay differential of $235 plus a $1,000 retention bonus. Paid vacation, sick leave, 13 paid holidays, medical, dental, vision, supplemental, and paid life insurance all begin day one. Quarterly profit sharing and a 5% matching 401k plan. Fully vested on day one. Apply now at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, and let's keep talking Yankton Bucks football. Being joined in the studio, Coach Brady Muth and Coach Justin Olson. Coaches, good morning.
Morning, Bryce.
Good morning, Bryce. You guys got back around 4, you said?
I think that was right.
Yep. You bet. Hey, you know what's best for a long trip, though? A win, right? Coming back with a win.
Absolutely.
Makes the trip go by faster, I'm assuming.
No, it doesn't, but it's more enjoyable.
Makes it more tolerable.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Yeah, and of course, 74-6, the final score, and now Yankton Bucks 2-1 on the season. Coach Olson, 90-something rush yards allowed. What's going on there? I'm joking.
It's okay. They busted that one out, that 53-yarder, and we're sitting pretty good, and I was like, oh, darn it. That was one of our check marks, and didn't get to check that one off to limit the big plays and rushing yards. But it's things happen, and it'll be fine. We'll get over it.
Obviously, I'm joking. It's a great performance by the Yankton defense. And let's just highlight some players just initially. Carson S, a pick six interception, and he really reached for that ball, and he had clear lane all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, and it actually happened because of the pressure. We had a lot of pressure. I think we had probably a 6 pressure on, and got to the quarterback as he was throwing the ball, so it kind of fluttered up there, and kind of like one of those. I was talking shop with my wife this morning. This is a defensive coordinator's dream when you have pressure and things kind of go right, and the ball floats up, and then it becomes a safety's dream. Picks it off and a pick six, and it was one of the things where we made a deal before the game. The coaches were going to get some wings after the game tonight, or last night, and he goes, "Hey, coach, if I get an interception, can I get a wing?" I go, I'll make that deal. I'll take that bet.
That's why I didn't get any wings.
So I gave him 2 because pick six. We bartered a little bit, so he got 2 wings last night.
The mystery has been solved. A lot of pressure on the quarterback and stopping the rushing attack basically at the line of scrimmage. But a couple sacks of the night. Derek Beal, Edley Amaro, both those guys. Derek Beal is on a tear lately.
Yeah, you know what? And his fitness level, he's done a great job in the offseason because he knew there's a chance he's going to have to go both ways. And then he solidified his role in the offensive line. We knew he was going to be a defensive starter, and he's just a force. No matter, he's doing very well for the offense. He's doing very well for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So we need him to stay on the field. So he's taken it upon himself to make sure he's in shape so he can remain on the field and be productive. And he was last night and has been, the past two games as well. So, really good things coming out of Derek. And, of course, you have Edley, who missed a game there, and he's coming back. Still has some technique things, and when he starts to get some things figured out, again, he'll be a force on the edge. And of course we have Riker Frang, who I think is a rock. He was sick. We didn't know if we were going to have him.
Yeah.
Be honest with you. And thank goodness he was on the bus.
A little bit of the bug going around.
A little bit of the bug. Yep. So he did a really good job of helping stuff in that run, as well as far as the front four go.
Is it because of the wings?
Well, if we offered him a deal, no one's getting wings.
Yeah. It's always nice to see a special teams player make something happen on defense, or special teams, but defense. But Brendan Gilmore, a blocked punt touchdown, and that's just really nice to see. And I'm assuming Gilmore's just one of those guys just always working hard in practice. It's nice to see him get that kind of opportunity.
Yeah. Coach Hill has those special teams units, running high, and I'm sure he'll talk about that here in a little bit. Yep. But just talking about Brendan Gilmore just coming on, and he's in the secondary for us, so he's kind of waiting his turn and keep on working in the JV games. But he's kind of one of those guys, not very very loud, just kind of quiet, but he does what he needs to do, and it was kind of fun to see him get that block punt, and then top it off. Icing on top of the cake.
Yeah.
A touchdown.
Yeah, the reason I bring him up with you on the defensive side is because of the secondary, and I want to talk about the secondary. Obviously, Connor Wright, right? Is it Connor Wright? Yeah, Connor Wright had some passes downfield, but excellent defensive job by Yankton in the secondary. Some ball hawking going on, but also some hard hits at the ball. Just a lot of red helmets at the ball.
And that's number one. Red helmets to the football. That's our point of emphasis every day in practice. Number 2, with the secondary play, have much improved from last week. And Coach Blake Savvy has done a great job of getting those guys prepared. And then we kind of fixed some things with some scheme-wise, looking at some new coverages and stuff like that, and that seemed to bode pretty well. Trying to get our best players in the best positions at the right times, and it worked out. And then, of course, none of them are afraid to come downhill and lay a lick and help in the run support. So that's always nice to have a well-rounded group in there. And I challenged a couple of them actually last night that you need to get your nose in there. You need to be a well-rounded player. And they understood that if they're going to take that jump to go to the next level, you just can't. I mean, there's spots to be a ball hawk, but also you have to be able to come up and make a stick. And you'll be noticed a lot quicker on film if you're going to be in that recruiting pool.
Sounds like it's going to cost us more wings.
The wing budget.
Yeah.
The wing budget is just skyrocketing right now. Well, hey, there's one player that is always involved in a play, either with he's involved in the tackle or the offense is running away from him. But Bryce Crawl, best name in the game. He just seems to be everywhere all the time.
Number 8 is everywhere, and he's not only is he physically capable, but he knows the game, and he studies. He watches film, and then he knows, like, if we're bringing a blitz off the edge, that he has to help out with the number 3 and help out in coverage. And he is our if we had a green sticker to have the earpiece in, and he's the guy I'm talking to. Calling the plays, that's him, and he's kind of that quarterback there. He gets the plays in, and gets counting people lined up, him and Matthew, and like I said, he is everywhere, and he loves the game. He just comes off the field with a big old smile on his face, and he's encouraging everybody. So he's our mainstay in the middle for sure.
Can we trust you with open communication with a green dot? Talking to your linebackers.
As long as I slow down and I don't mumble, I think I'd be okay.
You gotta keep the mic down by your mouth.
I do have a habit of not getting my headset. Coach was, hey, I can't hear what you're saying. To get the mouthpiece down.
That's funny. All right, and to both of you, whoever wants to take this, but you guys have been coaching this program for a long time, and at Douglas quite a few times, I'm sure. This is my first time there, and so I didn't get to experience the last Douglas stadium or field, but brand new turf. It looks like it's a really nice stadium.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work to make that that playing field much better. Mammoth Turf, Derek Budig, a Yankton guy, called me and said, "Hey, new turf field that we put in out there. You guys are gonna be the first ones playing on it. Don't screw up," which is the way my friends talk to me. But nice stadium and the field, the surface was really nice. I mean, compared to what it was. It was a needed upgrade for them, and talking with other people, they were really excited about it, and they've done a really good job with what their facility looks like out there.
And we'll run through some offensive players with you, Coach, and there's a few.
Yeah.
There's quite a few, so here we go. Evan Sirk, 12 rushes, 116 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown as well.
Yeah.
The Muscle Sirk made it happen.
Yeah, so we talked with Ev, game one. With the way game one played out, it's game one, and we're just trying to get as many touches to as many guys as we can in that first game. And so you saw a much more balanced, approach. Everyone got about the same amount of touches. Watertown, that was when everyone's starting to run into a little bit of illness, and I'm sure Evan, isn't using this as an excuse, but Watertown, he just wasn't feeling real great. It just was not. I mean, he was sick, and so. The focus was this week, though, talking with him. I mean, we told him, you're our feature back. You're going to stay on the field. You got to run the ball. We need to get, excuse me, our goal was to get him to about 20 carries, but his yards per carry were so high we weren't going to get there. We had a short field for a lot of the night, and so we weren't going to have big, long, sustained drives. But what we saw to Evan, I mean, he carried the bulk of the ball, the run calls during the first half, and first quarter, I think settling in, but then in the second quarter, once he got comfortable and he really settled in, his foot was in the ground and he was hitting full go right when he made his read. And so that's the guy that we need him to be. And he took another step last night, and he knows it. And he was, after he got rolling, he was like, "This is fun." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go. We're going to ride you a little bit more, and so get ready." And that's part of it, just getting ready for what's coming up in the season, because he's going to carry the ball for us a lot. And so we got to start to get him acclimated to that. And I thought Coach Huber, for the most part, while he was in the game, we really pounded the rock with Evan. And so a lot of those two, Easton did a good job. He came off it and took a gift read. We didn't really get into the third phase of the RPO stuff, but a lot of those throws that Easton took, those were run calls, but the way they were playing the box and everything, he took the throw. And so, again, more development, which is, looking at tape, there's a lot of things good to build off of here.
Well, I'm going to make you a deal. I have like 12 players listed here, so we're going to go over like the 4 or 5 pillars,
okay.
And then I'll go over the rest of the field.
Okay.
But Matthew Sheldon, this is actually for both of you, because a big rush or bombshell went off, 26-yard touchdown. But also on defense, he sent Douglas Patriot to the shadow realm at one time. So
defensive-wise first, he was another guy that too was he wasn't came in and he's like, Coach, I'm not feeling the best, but we're gonna get through it and do his thing, and you wouldn't even known. He did a great job defensive-wise. Set on a couple blitzes. He filled the hole. He scraped, and he's a coach's dream. Having actually 2 linebackers, inside linebackers like that. That can command that both the run and the pass. And then of course, when he brings it, he can bring it. And I don't know if that guy's woken up out of the shadow realm. I don't know how you get out of the shadow realm, but
investigation is ongoing.
Okay,
yeah.
But yeah, so it's nice to have a number 5. That looks like a dude like that on your team, for sure.
There's a 30 for 30 in here somewhere about the illness in the wings, and I have Bucks Wild Wings. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Quarterback play, Easton Nelson.
Yeah.
And Tate Bestie last night.
Yeah.
Easton Nelson, 10 of 11 on passing. And you're not asking him to go downfield that much, but when he is, he's accurate, and he's running the offense, and he can tuck and run.
Yeah, and there's one incompletion he had, and he would tell you that it was the wrong throw because, I mean, the defense, the coverages they were playing, they had everything deep capped.
Was that to Ness?
Yeah, it was to Ness. And so everything was capped off, and we talked about it. That should have been a back shoulder or a sail, or, I mean, start with a 6 or a curl, and then we can work our way down, but we got to kind of draw them in if we're going to get deep. They did not want anything over the top. And not a bad ball. That's if you're going to throw it, he threw it in the right spot. There's just a smarter place to put the ball, and he knew that. But so what we're seeing there is development. And you know, for a guy his first year, these first 3 games under his belt, those are 3 real good statistical games to have under your belt. And I think if people were sleeping on E, I don't know if they are anymore because, like you said, his play outside, his throwing on the run has gotten exponentially better. His internal clock, you saw it last night. It's a field thing for a quarterback. Obviously, you have coverages and you have read, but when you snap the ball, all of that's gone. Like all of that goes away, and then it's playing in the backyard. And so, for a quarterback to have that feel where you can feel the defensive backing off, and when a lane opens up, he's taking advantage of it, and you're seeing his speed. He can motor. So Easton, from our point of view, he is what we want in a quarterback. That's exactly what it looks like. We want a guy that can run for, any night can run for 100 and can throw for 100. And he had a really good night last night. Tate comes in, has a really good night operating the offense, and that's. I think if you want to really analyze this team, and if we're going to say what is the best thing we've got about this team, it's the depth. The way we're built. We threw out 2 kickers last night, and we left 1 home. And so we've got some depth here, and the drop off from 1 to 1A, you and I talked about that 1A, or call them a 1.5 or whatever you want to call them, is not that much. And so both those guys are operating at a high level. It's a lot of fun to watch right now, but Easton at the 1 spot, it's really fun to see him execute and get on the field and have success and take command of something. It's been a lot of fun watching him, and it's been a lot of fun watching our offense work with him.
Maybe it's not as big of a deal as I think it is, or maybe it is, but one thing I've noticed from him, just from my point of view, is instead of just abandoning the pass and running, which we know he can, he actually is keeping his eyes downfield while evading pressure the entire time. I just like his poise in the pocket or outside the pocket.
Yeah, so Coach Huber and I were talking about that actually last night. In practice even this week, we're noticing that in practice, we worked the heck out of scramble drill, and it showed up last night. It showed up a couple times. There was a throw on the sideline, and there was one that he was rolling. He scrambled to the right and threw kind of across his body back into the hash to Ness in the middle of the field, which is a no-no, but he threw a strike. I didn't tell him it was a no-no. If he's listening now, he knows it's a no-no, but at the time, I just said, that's a great play. Good job. So in scramble drill, he's good, but in practice, he doesn't take the opportunity to run. He still is processing and working through coverages in practice. And Coach Huber and I talked about that. Like, there are times when we would actually like to see him run. And I kind of have to stand off to the side during offensive practice because I talk too much. But there's a lot of times I want to yell, run, go. But you don't dare do that because he's working through things, and he's having a lot of success right now. And so we're just going to kind of leave Easton alone.
All right, we're nearing the finish line. We'll get you guys to film, but some wide receivers. Obviously, you have to talk about Carson Ness. He had the big touchdown reception. Yeah. We kind of already mentioned him before, but even Connor Slaba, not as much on the yardage on the offensive side, but he's had some really nice returns and setting up Yankton's offense.
Yeah, so Bubba shows up, and there's a lot of things that Bubba does that don't show up in the stat line. A lot of those big runs we had, especially on the perimeter, were happening because our wide receivers were blocking. And if we would have had some syrup on the sideline, we would have given it to Bubba because he was knocking guys down out there. And so that kind of stuff too. He is an elite competitor. There are no blind spots when he walks onto a football field. He's going to see everything and he's going to execute. And so, he was very important in the pass game, especially on gift reads or in the RPO game, because he's giving us an answer for the box. So not a whole lot of shots downfield, but you saw last night, you get the ball in his hands, he's really dangerous. If you get the ball in his hands in space, people are going to have a hard time getting him down.
All right, I'm going to talk to Hale about the special teams, but just a quick note on being able to use 2 kickers last night.
Yeah, I mean, so Liam, we've got Liam Villanueva and then Asher Knuckles, who are just full-time football players, and then Kevin Ortiz is a cross-trained guy with soccer. And Kevin's just coming back from an injury, so we left him home. They've got a game this morning or early today, and we didn't want him getting home at 4 and then
like 10 minutes.
then getting back on a bus and going. So we told him just to stay home. He's healthy now, but again, I think that speaks a little bit to the state of the program. I mean, we've got good, high-quality kids that are also very good football players that want to be involved in our program. And for us, that's really good because they've got a lot of talents. And we wanted to do that. We wanted to get Asher some in-game reps because getting an in-game rep in a varsity game is completely different than anything else. And so to get him out there and to get him some experience is totally valuable for us because he's a young guy now, but he's not going to be. He's going to get older. And so he's got to be able to operate in that situation. And Liam is just, he's got a lightning bolt or a thunderclap for a foot. He just can smoke a football when he gets locked in.
Yeah.
You know, and again, so he's kind of new to this too. He's a young guy. And so you see some things where guys don't execute to the most, but they all know they better because there's somebody knocking their door down if they don't. There's another kicker waiting to take their job. And that's the beauty of where we're at right now. Everything is competitive.
All right, this last one's going to both of you. Media, coaches, grandma, grandpas, and my daughter Kirby all know that Harrisburg is probably your toughest opponent on your schedule, X's and O's this season.
Yeah, but we're Harrisburg's toughest opponent too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But as far as defensively, what are you looking for in Harrisburg? And then right over to you, Coach Booth.
Well, I mean, they're a well-rounded football team, and so their physicality, we just need to match it, and just play like we got to come in there with the mentality of a championship mentality, and we have the guys that hold that mentality. And last night after the game, we talked about Coach Muth's brought up, all right, our next one, Harrisburg, and I was purposely looking into their eyes. And they are all jacked. And that's what we want to see.
Yep.
They're ready for this challenge. They don't look at Harrisburg being number 1, AAA. They look at next team up.
Yep.
Okay, and it's their fault that they got stuck on the schedule. And it's their fault that they're coming in to Crane Youngworth to compete against the Yankton Bucks. And that's what we're going to bring. So we have a work cut out for us. But I think this week we'll see a huge rise in film watching. And we'll get them ready, and then Friday night, those lights come on at Crane
and back home.
Yeah, right.
Finally,
yeah. Yep. So it'll be fun. Hopefully, it'll be a good game for us. So,
yeah, I mean, this is right where I like to be. I like having a chip on my shoulder. I like being the underdog. I like all that stuff, and so, I mean, we are open to the challenge. We want the challenge. I mean, if it was Ohio State, we'd take them. We don't care. And we'll play it anywhere, but unfortunately for Harrisburg, they got to play it in Yankton. And so it's something our kids are excited about. We're not going to have a hard time getting up for this. It is going to be a challenge, but we need this challenge. We need to get pushed a little bit. If we want to end up where we're going to be, we've got to play against the best. We're fortunate that we have the number 1 ranked team in AAA on our schedule because we're going to go out to get to prove something. And I know they're going to be ready. They're a big physical football team. They're deep. They're fast. If you go to the conference or the state track meet, Harrisburg always has guys in the 100, 200, 400, so they're going to be fast. But guess what? We're fast too. And so I think that's the thing. If we're not going to go into this with the idea that we got a puncher's chance. We're going in there to get in a fight. And so we're going to take care of business. We're going to start here in about 5 minutes, and it's on to Harrisburg, and everybody's going to be fired up.
Hell, I don't know if it's because I haven't slept yet or you guys are motivating me, but I want to run through that glass window right there.
Well, the big thing, and this is what I love about our guys. Our guys like to be a problem. They like to be a problem for the other team, and we're going to be a problem for Harrisburg.
All right, go get after it, coaches. Thanks for joining me this morning.
All right,
congratulations.
Thanks Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explorers CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig and Coach Terry Huber, Coach Brady Hill join us here this morning. Coaches, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so Coach Booth brought in a giant thing of Sour Patch Kids. You gonna eat those?
No, those are, I can't have sugar before lunch is what Coach Booth told me.
Half the show today has just been random stuff. No one has any idea what's going on. Just like, what are they talking about? We're talking about wings, I guess, and Sour Patch Kids. But we'll get back on topic here. A big win for the Bucks last night, 74-6, and we'll start special teams with Coach Hale. We'll start with the kickers. You're able to have two kickers out there, and you love to see some depth get out there. Asher Knuckles able to get some through the uprights, as well as Liam Villanueva. And do you like what you see from that? Obviously, there's some missed extra points, but in the grand scheme of things, pretty happy?
Yeah, I mean, I thought those guys did a decent job. I was telling them last night that, I'm not ever going to get upset at them for missing extra points because nobody's trying to do that. It's just that, the expectation that they have for themselves and that, all of our players and us coaches have is that, those are important for us and just to knock them through. And, those are valuable reps that I think will help us in the long run, learning from, what went wrong on some of those missed kicks. But, yeah, it's not easy to go in there when you're a first-time varsity kicker to kind of put some through the post. So, I was proud of those two for just kind of being resilient and, missed one, make the next one, things like that. So, yeah, I'm proud of those guys, and it's fun to go to work with them every day. So we're going to need them in the long run.
I'm just now seeing this. Like, just now, it's in my head. You didn't punt last night.
That's good.
Coach
Hubert, that is the greatest thing he's ever heard.
That is my expectation right there.
Yeah. So that's a good thing for both of you. But I just really did. You guys just kind of realize that too, in a way.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought we might have snuck one in there, but
unless I did math wrong, which is very possible. But no, that's I was gonna say. What about the punting? Well, there was none. So no, but Brendan Gilmore blocked punt in for a touchdown, and you just like to see guys get those kind of moments.
Yeah, we had a super solid week of practice, and Brendan's a guy who, he started the year not on as many special teams, but he's worked his butt off and he's played really well in a lot of the JV games, and he's earned his opportunity. and then, makes a play like that, he's definitely made an impression on all of us coaches with just, how he approaches special teams. So just super happy that it happened, and that was a great play, huge play in the game, and great way to start off the evening for the Bucks.
Talk to Muth about it a little bit, ask you, but the con man, Connor Slaba, on punt returns, he's done a really nice job this season of just putting the offense in the best position possible.
Yeah, he did a great job. A lot of those punts were bouncing to him, so those are tricky to read, especially when you have people sprinting full speed at you. So I'm sure he'd give a lot of credit to his blockers, but he does a nice job of getting the ball and getting upfield as quick as possible. And that's a position that he really takes ownership over. So it's nice to get that kid the ball any way we can because he's such a dynamic playmaker. So I thought he did a phenomenal job.
Let's talk receivers, and this will bleed into Huber as well. But I'm just going to name some of those. Carson Ness last night, a touchdown. Yep. Owen Eidsness had some big grabs and a touchdown as well. Carter Boomsma with a big reception. And, of course, Slabo with a few receptions as well. And I'm sure I'm missing like 3 or 4. But just overall, a lot of people got their hands on the ball. But you just like to see not only the depth, but your top guys really moving the chains.
Yeah, we knew Connor and Carson were, obviously they're 2 senior leaders, and they're going to be there every game for us. And honestly, we've seen it from Owen all year in practice, and it just kind of hadn't happened in the game yet. But that I wasn't surprised at all that Owen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he had 10 catches for 120 whatever. I wouldn't be surprised either way. He's just that kind of player. But yeah, it's another one of those good nights where you can get the ball to a lot of kids. And I thought Tate threw a great ball to Owen for that touchdown. So shout out to Tate. But yeah, those guys did a great job. In a game like that, we can probably were a little more run heavy in a situation like when we're up that much. So just being patient, and I thought they blocked really well because a lot of those big runs don't happen without some sort of effort from your wideouts. So I thought those guys played a pretty complete game.
Coach Huber, 6 rushing touchdowns. Would you say that maybe the running game was established early?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job in the run game last night. Touching on those receivers a little bit. Like Coach Hale said, we talk to them all the time. Obviously, we want you guys to get the ball, but if you don't have the ball, your next responsibility is to block for the guy who does. So we tell them every week, you got to be able to block on the perimeter. Those OZ plays, especially with the speed that we have in the backfield, those are huge, but they're critical blocks out there by those receivers that we have to have. Any of our RPO stuff, whether we're throwing bubble screens, jailbreaks, anything like that, that's all perimeter blocking to get those guys the ball. And I know you mentioning Owen, early on, he got that first jailbreak play and gained 5-6
jailbreak
yards.
one more time. I'm gonna have to get a whiteboard in here.
Yeah.
Junior, listen to this.
Yes, yeah. So it's it was pretty fun to see. That run game though, the explosion. I know Cirque kind of felt like he wasn't quite doing what he needed to early on, and then it clicked for him, and he started just playing football. And I tell you what, the speed that he has going through that hole is just phenomenal. And then with Shelley going in there, scoring that touchdown, I think it was a 26-yard touchdown. A lot of the guys, it's just like you can just tell nobody wants to tackle him, and maybe they want to, but they know it's probably a good business decision not to attempt it. So just running real tough, real hard downhill. Fun to watch those guys in the backfield.
I liked seeing Cirque being able to finish off. I think it was the first scoring drive. No, second one. When he was at the 1.
Yeah.
A lot of the times there's a guy that will come in there, a vulture will take that touchdown.
Yeah.
But you were able to get him the ball, and that was
Absolutely,
nice to see him finish
it. Yeah, he wants the ball as many times. I know last year, I think it was against T, he had like 40 touches in the game. And, after the game, obviously he's going to be sore and stuff, but I think he was happy as ever to get that many touches. And that's the guy he is. He's ready to go whenever, wherever you need him. And, it's just – it's really solid to be able to rely on those guys and depend on them to be great running backs back there.
Credit to all the running backs, but I have to give some credit to my boys on the line,
Absolutely.
the Hogs, the Yankton Moving Company. I'm pretty sure they had gaps wide enough last night where I could have gotten a yard.
Yeah, it's really so fun and so special with these guys. They're just such a tight knit group. I know a lot of playing time together, but in the week you can just see how much they are growing, and you wouldn't think all of that playing time, from last year up to this point, that they would be able to grow exponentially each week, but you see it every day. And then we got guys, there was some illness. We got guys stepping in, and it feels like a well-oiled machine when we get substitutes coming in, and that's what we need. I know last night, one of the later drives with the ones, we had Ben Bowman come in at right guard for Eustis, and he just stepped in, and it's a, hey, you're going to go right guard next drive. It's just a yes sir mentality. He just gets in and he does his job, and it's really, really phenomenal to see these guys. I would say our tackles right now are just playing extremely nasty football, and that's what I love. Those guys got to be dominant on the outside there. Guards pulling through there, Beal and Yui. Those two they're really fun to see. I know
they haven't had a lot of holds from what I'm thinking, which is surprising because Watertown's 700.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one thing I always tell them. I want to be physical in there. Holds, that's part of the game. It happens. Obviously, we want to be as clean as possible. But I thought last night they were very clean. I think we had one hold on an OZ play that we just didn't take the right footwork. But and then I know I put a lot of pressure on him too. But at center, Mark Cottle, he's that guy that he has to control that offensive line just because it all starts with him. And I talked to him quite a bit about it. I put pressure on him because he's got to be able to handle it, and he does a phenomenal job up there handling that pressure.
Haven't seen a lot of false starts, and I don't think I've seen a snap go awry.
Yeah,
knock on wood.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll knock on that one. That's for sure. It's been really, really fun. I'm very proud to be the O-line coach of these guys because they do work their butts off for me, and very rarely do I get too many comments back. They might throw a few needles at me every now and then, but nothing too bad.
Well, he snaps it, or the line snaps it to your quarterback, Easton Nelson, 10 of 11 last night. Just very efficient running that offense. And then Tate Bestie also came in and put a frozen rope touchdown out there to Old Heisness. You just like to see that kind of quarterback play consistently throughout the year.
Absolutely. Nelly had a phenomenal night last night. During the game, I was actually talking to Muth a little bit ago, and we were just talking about how you could kind of feel it. You could feel he was having a really good game, but you don't check into it at that point. Halftime when Hale came down with, kind of our hit chart and the plays, it's just – you could tell he was just locked in and ready to go in that game, and he's been doing that this entire time. And hats off to him coming in this first year, getting these starts. He's taken every advantage of the opportunity given to him. Tate coming in there, I really like watching him play. He's a very intelligent football player. He sees the field very well, and he's getting the ball where it needs to be. Like you said, that ball to Owen, I don't think could have been placed any better for that touchdown. And hats off to Tate for being ready when his time comes up.
I'm sure I'm missing like 14 players that should get a call out tonight or today, so I apologize. But to you two, congratulations, a big win last night. Focus on Harrisburg now, and to start doing that, you have to get to film. So I'll get you guys out here. And again, congratulations. Go get some sleep today.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us here this morning.
Thanks, Bryce. Appreciate everything.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's two best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfast and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, two great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmock cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner, and let's start talking Yankton Bucks golf. In the studio, Coach Brett Syme. Coach, good morning.
Morning.
All right, and first of all, did you get some pizza? That's what I always have to ask.
Yeah, got a couple slices.
good breakfast for me, I guess.
Only 4 football coaches in this morning, so there had to be some left.
There was. There's a whole one left in there too.
Okay,
for you.
good. All right. Yankton hosted an invitational Hillcrest Golf and Country Club yesterday afternoon, finishing 9th out of 15 teams. A 333 plus 45 overpower team score. Watertown took the team title, 301. I think the plus 13 team score. And that's how I'm going to open it up for you. I want to hear about the individual golfers for Yankton. This overall the experience for the Bucks.
You know, it was a great tournament. First thing I'd like to do is just thank Hillcrest and, you know, Scott Larson and his staff inside, and Warren Muller and his staff outside for having Hillcrest ready. And you know, it's a great course. It was in great shape, and they were great hosts and very gracious hosts to us. So I want to thank them first. And, you know, teams, whenever they come to Hillcrest, they know it's going to be a little tougher test, and it proved to be so yesterday. But, you know, the teams that we've been talking about all season long, they kind of were at the top, you know, and that's where I expect them to be. You know, honestly, I was hoping maybe we would play a little bit better. We had a really good practice at Hillcrest on Wednesday, but you know, we started really good yesterday. We were actually under par for a few holes, and then you know, the wind came up, and you know, I don't know what happened necessarily, but you know, as I was out watching and talking with some of the kids, we had some of our heads were down, you know, and when the heads go down, sometimes the game goes down. And then we talked about that after the round. But, you know, we need to perform a little better, and we need to maybe be a little bit better mentally all the way through the round to perform where we want to. And we did end up with a 9th place finish. But, you know, as I look at the results, we were 8 strokes away from 6th place, which would have been a good spot for us. If we could have shot what we did at Hillcrest last Friday, that's where we would have been. It didn't happen, but sometimes kids can put a little bit of pressure on themselves when they're playing at home and a big tournament. But yeah, we would have loved to have played a little better. Just too many big holes. You know, we had some kids that actually played pretty well. Our 2 seniors, Parker Riley and Riker Larson, led us with an 80. And, you know, both of those showed some real good grit and determination when they were playing. Parker just had 2 bad holes. He had one early where he double bogeyed number 2. I mean, double bogeys happen, that's fine. But then later on in the round, he triple bogeyed 15. You know, so right there is 5 over par. He ends up 8. So he actually had a pretty good day. You know, it got pretty windy there in the afternoon. Once it hit noon, the wind really kicked up, and it got to be kind of a tougher day to play. So, but those 2 really led us pretty well. Easton Bellick had a great front 9, shot even par on the front, and then just, you know, had some trouble on the back. I think he ended up only having 1 par on the back, and just, you know, he had a shot on number 12 that I haven't seen him hit all year long or most of his career, and had one go out of bounds, so that was kind of a tough one. He ended up shooting 83 for us. On our varsity side of things, Easton Skelhaus and Eli Larson both tied with a 90. Again, you know, one big hole. Eli Larson had a big hole on his last hole of the day, number 17, and people that play golf at Hillcrest, they know what that can do to you sometimes. But, you know, there at the end of the round, you know, we were hoping he could maybe just come in with a bogey on that hole, tough hole, but he took something a little higher than that, and it kind of hurt us. But
which hole was that?
17.
Is that kind of the hole like at Hillcrest?
Well, especially with the wind yesterday coming out of the south, it's a long par 5, water on the right, out of bounds on both sides. It's a very intimidating tee shot, and you know, if you don't hit a very good tee shot, or if you don't get off the tee, it can turn into a big number, and it did for him. And you know, that's behind us now. Sun came up today, and we're gonna fight to play another day. And Kai Cody shot 92 for us, and then we had 3 other golfers that were playing in the tournament. Huron only brought 3, so we filled out those other 3 spots with some golfers of ours. And Braden Birkland, our 8th grader, shot 85. So that was a good outing for him. William Youngbloom, 89, and Isaac Dimmer, 90. So, you know, some good competition for those guys and some good scores for them. But, you know, we were hoping to shoot a little better than 333. I know the kids were a little disappointed. They would have liked to have been up, you know, battling maybe for, you know, top 5 spot. That would have been tough because, those top 5 were 310 or better. We shot 319 last week. We would have had to shoot quite a bit better than that to do that. And early on, it looked like it was going to happen. But, like I said, later on in the day, after the wind kicked up and some of the golfers started having a little trouble, I saw the heads go down. And, we got to keep our eyes at the horizon. That'll keep your eyes up, your head up. And we got to go hit one shot at a time and try to do the best we can with every shot. And I think some of the kids, after the wind came up, they started letting shots get to them. They kept thinking about, oh, I did this, and they keep thinking about that too long. And we always talk that golfers got to have a short memory, because once you hit that shot, you don't get it back. And you got to forget about what happened on that one, not let it affect you the rest of the way, and you've got to go get in a good mental spot to hit that next shot. And I think some of our kids had a little trouble with that yesterday. So hopefully going forward, we can work on that a little bit, about staying, just positive and staying in the moment and going to the next shot. So that's where we're at. But all in all, it was a great tournament. The 5 teams that we've talked about all season long, they showed what they've got. And O'Gorman was 5th, and they're 15 shots ahead at T area. So those teams have kind of separated themselves from the rest of the pack. But, if we want to get to where we want to be and try to fight for that last spot on the podium at the state tournament, we've really got to be able to grind it out and not let things get us down. And that's going to be one of the big things we work on here these next 3 weeks, as our season is going to be winding up here before too long.
Yeah, season's just, it's crazy how fast it's going. You and I, we say every week, I have a competition between you, soccer, and tennis of who's going to finish first. I know who will, but it just seems like as you guys are racing. But you say short-term memory is important. Well, Monday, right? Brookings Country Club at 10 a.m., so an invitational. And I always like to ask how the courses play for your teams and stuff. How do you guys like playing there?
I think Brookings is a good course. I would say if you look at the 2 courses in Yankton, it's more similar to Hillcrest probably. You got some more trees and everything. It's a little bit older course. But, I don't think it's quite as tough as Hillcrest can play at times. So it'll be a good competition for us. It'll be good to see how our golfers react to maybe not playing as well as we had hoped. And hopefully they come out with a good mental attitude, and we can come out and have a good tournament on Monday up in Brookings. I always enjoy going up there. I played a couple of years of college golf for SDSU up there, so I know the course pretty well. Hopefully I can instill some of that knowledge to these guys, and hopefully we can go out and have a good tournament on Monday.
This is a random golf question. How often I know this is kind of really open-ended, but how often do golf courses change? How would Brookings change from the last 20 years or so? Or do they try to keep it pretty similar? Or
they do. It hasn't changed a lot here lately. It does. Some places do make some changes. One thing that did actually kind of change Brookings a little bit was that derecho. Remember that wind that came through? They got a bunch of rain with it, and it tore a bunch of trees out. Okay. So maybe it doesn't have as many trees as it used to, and it's made some holes actually a little easier. They don't have trees guarding, the greens like they used to, because some of those trees got torn out by that huge wind that we had. And one of the things they did too is they kind of changed their bunkers. And it's kind of weird. I've never quite seen bunkers like they have now. It's not like when I was playing there in college. They were just normal kind of bunkers, and then they made them more like strips. They almost look like rectangles. But so that changed a little bit. But all in all, the course is pretty much the same. Every now and then they might build a new tee box here and there to try and change something up a little bit. But no, the course is pretty much the same as when I used to play there. They did change on holes 1 and 2. It used to be out of bounds if you hit it over by Lake Campbell. That's right next to the golf course. But now they've made that actually penalty area, which makes a lot of sense because it is water over there. So it's more like a water hazard. But it also speeds up play a little bit because people aren't having to go back and hit shots from where they originally did. So that is one change from when I played there, and I think it's a good change. But, yeah, it's just, and I was talking with KVHT earlier that, it's really golfer against the golf course. excuse me, because we're not playing against necessarily the golfers in your group. You know, you've got no way to defend against them. You know, whatever they're shooting, they're going to shoot. You've got to do the best you can against the course that's out in front of you. And, you know, when you do hit a bad shot, because physical mistakes are going to happen, you've got to be mentally tough enough to go up there and get yourself ready for that next shot and do the best you can with what you've got. So that's the big thing. Stay in the moment, do the best you can on the next shot. And these guys got a lot of physical talent. We've got to just make sure we work on that mental side of the game, and good things will come.
All right, love to hear it, Coach. I'm sure you tear up the putt-putt course, right?
Well, you know what? If I practice my putting more, maybe I'd be a little bit better. But yeah, no.
Awesome. Go take some pizza with you. All right, please. And we'll talk to you next week, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks a lot, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including weekend maintenance technician 2. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers. Start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé que la barrera del idioma puede ser difícil, pero puedo facilitar el proceso. Escoja a un agente que se habla español. Envíeme un mensaje de texto 605-661-9398.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Thanks to Coach Brett Syme, Yankton Bucks Golf, for joining us in the studio. Coach's Corner is powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with a vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. All right, so we talked varsity football, and we talked Bucks Golf. Let's revert back to sub-varsity Bucks football. I don't have the sub-varsity coaches in this morning because I wanted someone out of the 12 people involved from last night between media and coaches to get some sleep. So I will just go ahead and go over the results. Yankton defeated Huron 51-0 on the road on Monday for JV football. And I have my trusty stat sheet here. So 51-0. And Jason Lachek scored. Tegan LaCroix had a rushing touchdown as well. So Jason Lachek and LaCroix had 40-plus yard touchdowns. Defensive safety from Sedlacek. Another rushing touchdown from Sedlacek. LaCroix, a 36-yard interception return for a touchdown. Jake Bivens had a 21-yard receiving touchdown from LaCroix. And Ivan Hirschman, 12-yard receiving touchdown from LaCroix. And then Carson Krall, a 7-yard rushing touchdown. And Carson Krall also last night, an 84-yard rushing touchdown for Carson Krall. And, man, I don't think I mentioned him. And if I didn't, maybe I did. If I didn't, I'm sorry, Carson. But that was a really impressive run from Carson Krall last night at Douglas. And it was really great. Tackles-wise, Carter Boomsma led tackles for JV with 4. Jolton Redmonds-Hahn with 3. Carson Krall with 3. And a bunch of guys with 2 as well. And then interceptions, Tegan LaCroix and Braylon Hoover each had 1. And I think that is it. But congratulations to the JV squad for that big victory. They host Sioux City East at Crane Monday at 4:30. And then 9th grade Bucks football. Yankton defeated Huron 20-8 at Crane on Thursday. And Malik El Mustafa had a 5-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Kudera. Will Sager, an 18-yard pass from Jackson Kudera, touchdown. And two-point conversion by Isaac Sirk, a 3-yard pass from Kudera. And then Max Weisenberger, 75-yard interception return. So that's a big pick six for Weisenberger. And leading tackles was Bladen Kaufman with 10. And then Jackson Reichen had 6. He also had a sack. Malik Mustafa had 6 tackles, 2 sacks, and, of course, fumble recovery in the effort. Corbin Saylor also had 6 tackles. Max Weisenberger with 5. Evan Jackman with 4. And then a bunch of guys with 3 and 2, so really team effort across the board. 9th grade football hosts Norfolk on Thursday at 4:30. So that is your sub-varsity football recap. Take a quick break, come back, and let's go ahead and talk Yankton Gazelles volleyball right here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
September is Healthy Aging Month. Yankton Medical Clinic reminds you that healthy aging begins with preventative screenings, and the best place to start is by having a colonoscopy. Colonoscopies are recommended for all individuals age 45 and older. Yankton Medical Clinic has 3 general surgeons who can complete this simple outpatient procedure on site, so there's no need to wait. Call 664-2742 to schedule your colonoscopy today. Learn more at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
The other day, a guy came into the UPS store to pick up some blueprints we had printed for him. While we were finishing up the order, he asked about business cards as he was about out of his current supply. Hi, this is Doug at the UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion. We all have various printing needs and the UPS store is here to help. Stop into our locations in Yankton or Vermilion and ask about our current print specials. Oh, the gentleman from earlier? We had new business cards ready for him the very next business day.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig here. Start talking Yankton Gazelles volleyball. Yankton has lost its last 5 matchups, most recently versus Sioux Falls, Washington. That was on Thursday evening. And joining me on the Pizza Ranch phone line, I have a recorded interview from Thursday, but it was right before that last matchup. Scheduling, what are you going to do? But I caught up with Coach Taylor Stacy of Yankton Gazelles volleyball, and I'll go ahead and play the interview for you right now again. She joined me on the Pizza Ranch phone line.
Joined by Coach Taylor Stacy. Coach, how we doing?
Really good.
Well, we're recording this on Thursday for scheduling purposes. So as this plays, you will have already faced Sioux Falls, Washington on the road, but we'll go over some matchups that have led you to this moment. Coach, although the last 3 matchups with Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, Watertown, and Harrisburg have been sweeps, one thing that's been very clear is the Gazelles have been very competitive in almost every one of those sets, and it's still very entertaining volleyball. You have to like the fight that you're seeing from the girls.
Yeah, the girls do a really good job of fighting together on the court. No matter how far we are down or whatever, the girls continue working hard and continue putting up plays and continue digging the ball. And sometimes, yes, we do make a comeback, but sometimes we're just so far behind it's hard to jump all the way back up to take the lead. So the girls just are doing a really good job of fighting and never getting down on themselves.
And it has to be a long process. It's something that can't happen overnight. But we talked earlier in the season about this is the first time these girls have played varsity together at this level, at least all of them together. Are you liking their progression working as a team and kind of gelling?
Yeah, the girls they're gelling really well. And I think right away at the season, we gelled pretty well already, but I continue to see more and more improvement. And so they're just doing a really good job, and they continue to communicate so well. Sometimes we need a little bit more communication, but the girls are working together to get that done.
All right, and then you have Sioux Falls, Washington, which again is happening Thursday, and then here on Arena. But then you kind of have a stretch of some home matchups. That has to be nice to look forward to.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to be back on our home court and hopefully feel more confident in our home base.
And what are you seeing from the rest of AA as compared to last year as far as kind of who the top teams have been? Is kind of surprising you or kind of what you kind of expected?
It's expected that Sioux Falls schools are competitive. they bring a lot more height than it seems like other schools around us. But that's who we've played mostly so far. Watertown had a little bit of height as well, and they bring some strong girls well. So it'll be fun to start seeing some teams like Huron and Mitchell and Brookings toward the end of the season when we're not playing in Sioux Falls all the time.
And I like to check up on the sub-varsity as much as I can. Obviously, you keep track of that as well. How's the Gazelles sub-varsity doing?
The sub-varsity teams are doing really well. Again, we like to see the numbers we have this year, and so we're trying to get as many girls in as we can and still be competitive, and that's what they're showing. I know our JV team is competitive, and we have a couple freshmen on that team as well as starters, and they're doing a really good job as freshmen and the upperclassmen helping them out kind of on the JV team. Our sophomore team is being really competitive. They've taken almost every team to 3 sets and won a couple and lost a couple. So it's really nice to see. And then our freshman A and B teams, they are also competitive. And again, winning and losing some, but they have a tournament up this Saturday. And so we're excited to see them and just focus on them for a day.
Well, Coach, you're about halfway through the schedule already. It seems that it's flying by from at least my perspective. So best of luck at Sioux Falls, Washington, and then, of course, at Huron before we talk again next. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that's Coach Taylor Stacy joining us. Appreciate her again joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Gazelles are currently 1-9 and an 18th in Class AA, so just on the outside of that 16 bubble and looking to get some wins and climb back in. Gazelles travel to Huron on Monday. Take a break, come back, and let's start talking Yankton soccer, both Bucks and Gazelles. That's around the corner here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
So as the show's going on right now, there is a doubleheader taking place at Crane Youngworth Field for soccer and early morning doubleheader. We were going to cover it. We try to cover all the Yankton, at least home soccer games, but man, we just couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it too early. Not in general, but after getting home at like 4 or 5 in the morning, too early to turn around and go right to the stadium and do 6 hours of soccer doubleheader. So wish them the best of luck. Absolutely. The Bucks are on a 6-game losing skid currently, most recently losing to Brandon Valley on the road. That was on the 10th, 4-2. We're looking to get back on the winning track today at Crane Youngworth Field versus Sioux Falls, Washington. Their game estimated starts at 11 a.m. And then our actually own Braden Butler caught up with Coach Dane Hansen of the Yankton Bucks, and we'll go ahead and play that interview for you right now.
This is Braden Butler here for the Coach's Corner. Joining me is Dane Hansen, the head coach for the Yankton Bucks soccer program. Coach Hansen, talk about your team as we're nearing the end of the season. You got a doubleheader coming up, it's the Yankton soccer doubleheader, but you got a matchup with Sioux Falls, Washington coming up today as this is airing. It's in the near future as we're talking, pre-recording this on Thursday. But before we get into anything on your season so far or what's ahead, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm not too bad. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. I enjoy talking about Yankton soccer. It's one of my favorite sports to cover here on KYNT. Not that I play favorites too much. I love all the sports we cover here for Yankton High School. But how are you feeling? It's your first season as head coach. You've unfortunately dealt with a little bit of injuries right now. Early on in the season, it's a 1-7-1 record on the year for Yankton, coming off of a loss to Brandon Valley on Tuesday. Could you tell us how you're feeling about this season, your first year in charge, and then about that matchup on Tuesday against the Lynx up in Brandon?
Well, overall, I think, from a record standpoint, I think we can all admit, it hasn't been necessarily the best record from a wins-loss perspective that Yankton boys soccer has produced, especially coming off of an 11-win season last year. We did graduate some really talented players last year, so filling those gaps has maybe not been as easy as we would like it to be. But on the whole, with the exception of a handful of games, we've really been able to out-possess the other teams. We've outshot other teams. We're just not finding the back of the net. We're not getting a little bit of luck where we would want some luck. And, we've been pretty unlucky with mistakes where any mistake we do make we do tend to get punished off of those. And so we've got to play a little cleaner, play a lot more solid, a lot more focused through the full 80-minute game, and results would potentially flip the other side. But I can't really be overly disappointed in how we're playing, because we are playing good soccer. We're just not getting results.
And speaking of recent results, Brandon Valley on Tuesday earlier this week, 4-2, the Lynx ended up winning that one. Scored a goal in each half, ended up putting 2 on the board. Give a quick breakdown of that game for maybe anybody who didn't make the trip up there, hasn't fully seen what that game was like yet.
Well, that game is a game where we had 53% possession compared to the other team. That'd be 47% for the other team. So we out-possessed them. We had 17 shots in that game. Only were able to score off of 2 of them. They had one really, really good goal. We gave up a last 5-second goal to make it 4-2 for them, but we had good fight back. We just, 10 minutes in the game, we kind of had a little bit of a mental letdown. Gave up 2 goals that, maybe if we look back on paper that, we probably shouldn't be giving up those 2 goals. But beyond that, the team's fight back, our ability to actually play good soccer, some of our attacking patterns are really starting to show. We're starting to gel as a team from an attacking front. We just got to clean up some of the mistakes that we're making defensively, and again, like I've said earlier, results will maybe flip the other way.
Your first chance to try to get those results to flip the other way, because as a broadcaster watching you guys play, you can tell you're playing good soccer, usually, as you said, out-possessing the other team, but just some things not bouncing your way. Your first chance to get back into that win column is coming up once again today as this is recording. It actually might be kicking off soon, depending on when this is playing in the Coach's Corner. So what are you expecting from Sioux Falls, Washington, as the Warriors come to Crane Young Worth Field to take on the Bucks?
So they've got a crafty midfield. So they've got some good, talented players. They are able to move the ball. They try to possess a little bit more than maybe what the Lynx did, at least from what we can see from video and from scouting and just talking to, some of their past opponents that, I have a relationship with. So they're going to be a good team, even though their record doesn't show it. But they have some weaknesses that, from our possession standpoint, we might be able to take advantage of, where, maybe their midfield isn't as organized defensively as maybe some of the more top teams in the state. So I'm still expecting us to be able to control the game. We'll look to exploit some of their weaknesses on the back line, so that we'll work on that today and tomorrow, or Thursday and Friday. Hopefully get some more goals now that we've found our scoring boots finally. And then we get Kevin back for more minutes, and he's probably our best center back. So we haven't had him most of the season, so we get him back for more minutes on the field. So hopefully that will help, batten down the hatches a little bit better than maybe in some of our previous matches. So it should be a really good game, really good opportunity for us to get another W in our win column, and hopefully make some progress towards getting back in playoff contention.
Well, Coach, thank you for taking time to talk to us today for the Coach's Corner. That game, as you're listening to this coming up shortly, as we're recording this 2 days away, that's the only home game that KYNT will not be able to cover this year for the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles for soccer. Going out west, River to Douglas on Friday night. We're getting back about 6 to 7 in the morning. I don't know how Bryce is even running this show right now, considering how little sleep he's on, but unable to have the bodies to cover those back-to-back nights. So unfortunately for that, but we will be on the road with you in Mitchell, and I believe that's coming up here shortly, and then the rest of the home games for the remaining of the season. So thank you for taking time, Coach, and good luck with you and your team against Sioux Falls, Washington.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for the time.
All right, thanks to Braid Butler and Coach Dane Hansen for recording that interview, getting us caught up on Yankton Bucks soccer. And Yankton Gazelles soccer, excuse me, the Bucks are currently 20th in Class AA. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that with the standings portion. Gazelles now, currently 4-4-1 on the season. They're 11th in Class AA, but they're on a 2-game skid. Looking to correct that as we speak, playing right now at Crane Youngworth Field, taking on Sioux Falls, Washington in an early morning doubleheader at Crane. Take a break, come back, and let's start talking Yankton Gazelles tennis. That's around the corner here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner, Gazelles tennis. Yankton had almost a week without competition until yesterday, and where they would take on Sioux Falls Roosevelt. But on Thursday, I caught up with Coach Ryan Haig on the Pizza Ranch phone line, and here is that conversation.
Coach, how are we doing? I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while, but everybody's been busy, including the girls on the courts, and we're happy to be on today.
Coach, this is the longest quote-unquote break you've had from competition this season, so ironically it is when we talk next. Last you had Spearfish, that was at Hitchcock Park, and now, of course, you have a competition at Sioux Falls Roosevelt, a duel scheduled for Friday. This is recording Thursday, so the duel will have already happened, and I'll go over those results on the show. But what have you and the girls done during that week? Just kind of fine-tune some things, get some practice under your belt? Kind of what was that plan?
Well, actually, we've been playing so much tennis here recently that, we took this opportunity to kind of give the girls a little bit of a rest. And, we've got some bumps and bruises on the team. There's no doubt about it. When you play as much tennis and as quality tennis as we've been playing here recently, you're bound to come up with some bumps and bruises occasionally. And we've got a little bit on the team. And so Monday, we actually gave them the day off, which they were smiling ear to ear about. These girls are not only are they fantastic tennis players, they are also excellent students. And they're most of them are juniors, and with that junior year and AP courses and things like that, homework can really pile up on these girls. So giving the girls a day off was just what the doctor ordered, I think, for the group. We bounced back on Tuesday, and we stayed off the court, but we actually went on the wrestling mats, and we did an off-court workout. About 40 minutes worth of conditioning and strength training. And, it was great for the girls. They were in and out fairly quickly. Although we did have, it was, I guess, technically a practice. They got home quite a bit earlier than they would have had we been on court. Then we bounced back, Wednesday, Thursday, right back on the courts, right back at it, trying to kind of fine-tune a few of the things we've been working on throughout the entire season, and hit the balls back and forth at each other, and try to get on and off the court with without any mishaps. So it's been a great week of practice. We're looking forward to the competition against Sioux Falls Roosevelt and continuing on with our season.
I had to talk to the wife about lightening up those homework loads, don't I?
Yeah, that's no kidding. Those girls are, they're feeling it right now. As juniors, it gets piled on, but they're outstanding players and outstanding students, and they can handle it.
We are at about the 3/4 mark of the season. Compared to others, this going by pretty fast. From my perspective, it definitely has.
For sure. Once you get started on court and you start those duels, the season really just absolutely flies by. And, part of it's the weather. The weather's so nice. You enjoy being outdoors this time of the year. But part of it is just, you're on the road a lot. And when you're on the road and traveling and playing, 2-3 times a week, you kind of lose track of time. And, like they always say, time flies when you're having fun. And the Gazelles are having a heck of a fun time this year so far.
Well, tough road the rest of the way. I'm sure the Gazelles are going to do just fine. See a lot of W's in those win columns, so that's a good thing. And love seeing the competition from the girls. And as always, appreciate you joining me, Coach. And we'll talk again next week, hopefully.
Look forward to it. Appreciate it.
Let's Coach Ryan Haig joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Always appreciate his time. Yankton would defeat Sioux Falls Roosevelt 9-0 in that duel and take part in a triangular on Tuesday at Sioux Falls Lincoln versus the Patriots and the Mitchell Colonels. Yankton cross country. Yankton they had a week of no competition, but compete today at Brandon McHardy Park as part of an invitational. That event is currently underway, and then we turn our attention to Yankton competitive dance and cheer. Trying to get those coaches in here, hopefully next week, or at least get them on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Yankton hosted an invitational at the Summit Activity Center on Thursday. And Yankton Dance finished third with a 267-25 team score. Yankton Cheer finished 11th out of as many teams with a 176 team score. Harrisburg took the team title in cheer with a 287. Brandon Valley took the team title in dance with a 277.5. And Yankton now travels to Huron on Tuesday for an invitational beginning at 5 p.m. All right, go dance and cheer. Love to see that. That's great. And, always competitive. Love seeing them just kind of climb those place finishes. It's always great to see. We'll take a break here on the Coach's Corner. When we come back, start wrapping things up here from the KYNT studios. This is the Coach's Corner on KYNT and KYNTV.
Pizza Ranch is all about the cookie. This is Mike from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Get ready for our famous family-sized chocolate chip cookie filled with chewy, gooey, chocolatey goodness. And right now, you can feed your group for just $20. Grab our online pizza deal, 2 single-topping medium pizzas, a small cheesy ranch sticks, and a small cactus bread, all for $20. Simply go to pizzaranch.com to order now.
Whoa, that's good.
Medicare coverage is not a one-size-fits-all coverage. Do you like to travel? Are you wanting to spend your winters down south? Or just spend some time with your grandkids? Make sure you choose a plan that fits your needs and will travel with you. Visit Julie at Missouri River Associates to review your upcoming Medicare or your current needs. That's Julie at Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explorers CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
All right, thank you for joining us here on the Coach's Corner this morning. Coach's Corner is powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Best of luck to Yankton Bucks and Gazelles soccer at Creighton today, to Yankton cross country, to all Yankton athletics. And for everyone tuning in last night to the game on KYNT and KYNTV, Yankton's home team and stream, and on the show here this morning for all the coaches coming in, and of course to Pete's Ranch for providing the delicious pizza and the Pizza Ranch phone line to get those interviews in for you as well. Big day. Some sleeping is in my future. I've been told that the kids are going to allow me to sleep, so kind of a top 10 moment in my life right now. Once I get home. That's the goal. That's the small things in life right now for me as I am without sleep. But we'll make it work. It's bringing me back to my Army days. Will toughen me up, but we will see. Thanks to all of our sponsors making this broadcast possible. Go Bucks, go Gazelles. I'm Bryce Ladwig, KYNT Sports Director and the voice of Yankton Athletics. Thank you for joining me here on the Coach's Corner.
FM